Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Good evening, and following our short mid-season Good evening. And following our short mid-season seasonal hiatus, welcome to issue 2.21 of the MooCamp Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds. We're the MK Dons radio show that fills you with more cheer than turkey and all the trimmings, and welcomes you better than any New Year celebrations could ever do. Let's kick off 2015 by saying that this is Green Day. You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds, the show that might as well join in with the rest of the undeserving world and claim that it won the FA Cup in 1988. I'm Brando, the man who asked Santa for a dog, a bike and a hat for Christmas, and woke up on Christmas morning to a Sandy Toxic calendar, a pot-bellied pig and the ability to see in the dark. Hi, I'm delighted to have with me the man who asked Santa for a snake and a log for Christmas and woke up on Christmas morning to a large body of water and a wet sloppy kiss. Say hi, Modest.
Good evening.
Young Albie's a demanding soul and he asked Santa for a girl and a well-known house and woke up on Christmas morning to a bottle of whiskey and an upset stomach. Say hi, young Albie.
I was there when Louis lifted the cup in 88.
And Jers asked Santa for a ball in the car and woke up on Christmas morning to a vast quantity of alcohol and an offer to help him claim for missold PPI insurance. So say hi, Jers.
Hi, Happy New Year, you gypsies.
That's beautiful. Well, just like the BBC when they're researching how to sell a third-round cup tie, what do you think is important to us? So, Modest, can you please tell the boys and girls how they can get in touch with us, please?
I can indeed. You can contact us by realising you now need a visa to enter Jordan, but then sit back and think, is she honestly worth all the extra effort? Or alternatively, you can use more conventional methods. You can contact us on Facebook, and we're at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet us using the hashtag the MooCamp during the show. You can email us at radio@moocamp.com. You can text 80085, But remember to start your message with, it's a rematch even though we've not met before, okay? Or else it won't reach us. Or you can text direct to the studio on 07848 930 396.
Thank you ever so much.
Right, what is in this week's show, I'm wondering? We've got so much to talk about this week that we can pretty much guarantee that we're not going to fit it all in. So the one thing we really can't do is waste time talking about what's coming up in the show. So, coming up in tonight's show, we've got our views on the Feast of Football and Excitement that we've been treated to since we last spoke. We'll talk about 70010301. Don't ring that number, because that gets you through to... that gets you through to Chris Stewart, and he's not a very nice man. We've got roundabouts, questions, text tweets, walls, floors, ceilings and chavs. So sit back and enjoy the ride.
Sounds like a remarkably good idea to me.
This just in, following the BBC's rather odd decision to rewrite history and proclaim that the Kingston lot were the winners of the 1988 FA Cup final some 14 years before they were formed, Milton Keynes Don Supremo Andrew "Call Me Andy" Cullen has come up with an interesting plan. In the first of a new series of announcements, Andrew "Call Me Andy" Cullen announced that it was actually the MK Dons and not Christopher Columbus who discovered America in 1492. The new world that were discovered before we were created will soon be renamed the United States of Winkie to reflect the new, improved version of history. More on this once we've thought of more ways to deface Gary Lineker.
It's time for the question of the week.
It is indeed time for the question of the week, and this week's question of the week has a New Year's flavour to it, and also a very, very strong Paul Harris flavour to it, because he seems to have given 1,000 different responses. But yes, the question of the week this week was, what are your football-related New Year's resolutions? And answers we've had so far include... Pete from MK1 says, to make sure that everyone knows that Milton Keynes is a really can-do sort of place. Paul Harris says, not to shout, shoot. Try saying that one quickly. Darren from Blackpool says, to take the gospel of Chav to the wider reggae community. Paul Harris says, not to say how much in the Red Dot Bar. John from Stony Stratford says, to boo more than anyone believes is humanly possible. Paul Harris says, not to ask if there is a plan. Pauline from Stanbury Field says, promotion. And Paul Harris says, not to ask at half-time, what the hell is he singing? Andrew Albie McPherson of this parish, can we go and punch those people who are making too much noise in the background, please? Andrew Albie McPherson says, to boo more like a real fan. And David Gundry says, not to hold my head in my hands when Isle MacLeod is in a position to shoot. And at least that's one resolution that he can keep. So that's the question of the week so far. We've got lots more to bring you later on, most of which from Paul Harris. So if anyone else wants to join in, please do. But yes, we'll come back and talk more about those later on. Which means it's probably time to do this.
Roundabout of the week. It's the MooCamp roundabout of the week.
Okay, as you all know, each week on the MooCamp Radio Show, I go out to see what's happening at one of the 3,426 roundabouts in Milton Keynes, and I pick one at random to describe to you in all of its splendour. Now, to start 2015 cryptic search off this week's intersection... Sorry, I'll say that again. To start your 2015 cryptic search off this week's intersection, if you're sitting comfortably, I will begin. This roundabout has the ubiquitous 4 exits.
Ooh.
The true runs parallel with the new.
Ooh.
This letter isn't batting where it stops.
Ha ha ha.
Vehicles larger than cars need guidance.
Cryptic.
Pedestrians can choose over or under. And it's close to Rouge, and lots of it. So, whereabouts is this week's Roundabout of the Week?
I've got a clue. I've got an idea on this one, and I haven't even seen it, so I think... Well, anyway, we'll see. We'll see whether any of you are clever enough to pick it up.
As clever as we are.
Yeah, because we're very clever.
Straight to the end of the thing.
Joke of the week.
What's orange, white and red and goes up and down chimneys?
We don't know. What's orange, white and red and goes up and down chimneys?
Dean Lewington out delivering presents with Santa because he's such a nice guy.
Fair enough, can't argue with that.
Nope.
Okay, the airwaves and the ether are obviously alive. What have we got?
They are indeed. I got a text from Paul from the Wallstones, who has texted in to say Happy New Year, which is rather nice of him, of course.
Happy New Year, Paul.
Happy New Year, Paul.
Dion from Netherfield, my favourite, has texted in to say thanks for the special presents, young Albie. Hope you liked all of yours. It was brilliant, thank you. Kevin from Bath texts in to say 1-2 versus 4-0. I'd say I made the right decision, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Simon from London has texted in to say we invented penicillin, and the BBC agrees, so that must be true. And Keith from Winslow texted in to say I don't fancy yours much.
Okay.
Rude. Yeah, right.
Thanks for that, Keith. Yeah, appreciate that.
Make your mind up though, please.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Okay.
This is Seklo Sounds. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour in the company of Harry and Edna on the Wireless, exploring all aspects of the vintage scene and playing tip-top gramophone tunes. Harry and Edna on the Wireless, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on seklosounds.org. Jolly good.
Right. We've had... Sorry, you're listening to MooCamp Radio on Seklo Sounds. Right. We've had a number of matches. Shall we begin the conversation with the one against a team who haven't been in the press at all recently?
No, not at all. No.
Hardly ever.
We played Oldham, I believe.
Hand.
The many-handed beast was there. Talk to me about it. What do we think?
That was all right.
I think
not bad.
I'll start off by saying that I took a move from the cowshed to the east stand for the second half because there was somebody behind me, St Jude from the forum will agree with me, who said, although Will Grigg has scored today, I think he's rubbish and he's not playing well. The man who pretty much controlled us to a 7-0 victory that day.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Was it 7?
I think it was 4, actually. 4, similar to this scoreline against Man United. I don't know if we've mentioned that this year.
I don't think we have. That's
Not
the
this
first
year, we
mention of Man...
haven't.
What was the score against Man United?
4-0, wasn't it?
4-0. Who to?
To Milton Keynes Dons.
Milton
I think it
Keynes
was.
Dons, I've heard
You know,
of
the
them.
1988 FA Cup winners.
The FA Cup
Final,
winners, yes.
wasn't
One of the many FA
Those
Cup
triangular
winners,
flags do
1988 winners.
not lie.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, it's 7-0. Come on, let's be honest. 7-0. 7-0.
It was
Yeah.
astonishingly
Yeah, it
good
was.
day.
7-0.
I've done such a lot since then. It seems like ages
It,
ago.
it
but,
does. I mean, what
it was a good game.
Am I the only one that was thinking on that day, it's about time that we gave somebody one of these? And then we did.
yeah. Every time we score relatively early, I always have that thing that says, is this the one?
This is, yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
even, to be honest, even when we've had 6s, it's never felt like the one. This was different. There was something...
It was 7. That's what.
Well-
different. That was
How
definitely
we do
different.
it. It's like one different. This goes one louder.
I think,
I was ecstatic, to be quite honest, when that last goal. And
Yeah,
I was
it-
excited.
it's-
Yeah.
Brilliant.
it's a massive rarity that you can celebrate the 7th goal more than the first, really, because that's when that 7th went in. The record.
I
When the
didn't
first
feel-
the first went in, it was bravo. Yeah, good.
I didn't feel the least bit
As a
sorry
plastic
for them.
supporter, I am.
I mean, I'd feel infinitely less sorry for them today, but after what's happened this afternoon. But they were rubbish for what I can remember.
You know what though? They were rubbish, but they were better than Colchester and they were better than Crewe, remarkably. And it didn't occur to me until right at the end that Paddy Kenny was their goalkeeper,
Yeah, I didn't know that until I wrote the-
which is actually
but-
which made it even more better. To
I
be
didn't
honest,
realise that until about Boxing Day, to be quite honest. Really, I had no
After
idea who
goading
that
him when he
was.
stood in front of us at QPR, I noticed straight away because I was doing exactly the same that day as I was.
Oh, it was good. I mean, we said they were rubbish, but quite honestly, we were phenomenally good that day.
We were
Just-
so
brilliant
good.
that day.
7 goals, 6 different scorers, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yep, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Who got them?
Potter, Grigg,
Was this
Afobe.
before Christmas, wasn't it? Forget it.
Potter Grigg.
Potter, Grigg, Afobe.
Was it Afobe that got 2?
Baker. No, it was Grigg who got 2.
Grigg got 2. Okay, yeah.
And
Delhi.
some other player. Yeah, Delhi scored one.
Danny Green.
Danny Green
Didn't he get
score.
that screamer at the end, or am I imagining
That was
No,
that was
that's
Carl
a different
Baker,
match.
wasn't it?
Baker.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the last one was one of the better ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great. That's all coming back to me in a flash.
Just talking to Carl Baker, I don't know if you saw it today, but he tweeted at lunchtime today, just put up saying, I know it's only Wednesday, but I can't wait for Saturday.